so your reading textbook should be open to page 160. And we will continue filling out our author's purpose map. But for right now, what was our first clue? Michaela, what was our first clue to the author's purpose? What was the first thing we found that told us, maybe this is why the author is writing?
The author doesn't agree with what the reports say about Jackie.
Good. The author...
Should we change it to reporters?
No. Well, yeah, you can just add that S to the end of reporters. The author disagrees with what the reporters say about Jackie. And Michaela, did we just pull that out of nowhere? Come up with that answer all by ourselves? No, where did we see the text evidence that told us this?
Page 154.
Page 154. Gosh, my nose is just... What is the second clue that we found that leads us to think, maybe this is why the author wrote this story? Carla.
The author telling us how Jackie gains her skill, her ambition, and her confidence.
Her ambition, Carla, because what you said, does that make sense?
Ambition.
Does that, what you just said, does that make sense?
No.
So can that be the word?
No.
So remember, if you're reading something and it doesn't make sense, go back, make sure you read the word correctly. If you need to, look up what the word means in a dictionary or in the internet if you don't have time to look it up in the dictionary. Okay, so good. The second clue was the author shows us how Jackie gained her skill, ambition, remember that's her drive to do well, and her confidence. Carla, did we just come out of nowhere?
No.
Where did we find the text evidence that led us to that answer?
It was on page 57.
Page 157.
And you actually, when you put show, you actually put telling.
Well, that means the same thing, so it's okay. Okay, good. So now, right now, we're between, is the author's purpose to persuade that Jackie can do it and she's just as good as any man, she disagrees with what the reporters say, or is it to inform? Are they just telling us this story about Jackie? Let's keep reading and find out if it becomes more clear. Okay, so on page 161, go ahead and read Victoria. Loud and slow.
Except the buyer was Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth, the home run king, a big mountain of men. Babe didn't like the idea of a woman picture at all.
Pause. That sentence. The author says Babe Ruth, the home run king, a big mountain of a man. What is the author trying to do by saying those things? What does she mean by a big mountain of a man? Is she saying that he's a mountain? No, what is she saying by saying that, Ethan? He's really good. Because mountains are great. They're huge. They're massive. So she's probably saying two things. He's huge. He's big. He's a big guy. But also he's really well known. So his personality and his persona, how you feel when you're around him is like, whoa, he's great. He's massive. He's huge. We all know him. Good. So she's trying to tell tell us, in this moment, is this a moment that Jackie's just like, oh, this is easy? Or is this a moment where Jackie's probably like, oh gosh. Very good. Okay, keep going, Victoria.
He thought women were too...
Remember when you have with an E, that word with an E, it's women, not woman. Woman has an A, M-A-N. Women has M-E-N.
He thought women were too delicate for baseball. They never make good, he said. It would kill them to play ball every day. He walked to the pallet and
Not the palette. What is that word?
plate and tipped his cup at
Not cup. Go slow, Victoria. Go slow. Start that sentence again. He walked.
He walked to the plate and tipped his cap at Jack. But if she thought he was going to go easy on her, she could forget it. He gripped the bat and got ready to slam the ball out of the ballpark.
Why do you think the author is including how Babe Ruth felt about women playing baseball? Why do you think she included that in this story? Why do you think the author included how Babe Ruth feels about women playing baseball in this story? Remember, when you're making inferences, sometimes you're thinking about, well, why would I want to include that? Sometimes that's what you do when you make inferences. Ethan? Okay, so she doesn't agree with it. Okay, good. Why else might she include? Kingston? Loud.
She would probably just put that there so that she could say something. But they don't agree with that.
Okay, so it's kind of same thing. She doesn't agree, so she wants to put something down there to show that she doesn't agree. Okay, why else? Zari?
I think because he's going to try to go easy on her.
You think he is? Well, what does it say? Does it say that he is going to go easy on her?
He was.
Look at this sentence. Let's everybody look at this sentence. It's the second to last sentence. But if she thought he was going to go easy on her, she could forget it. Does that mean he is going to go easy on her? What does that sentence mean?
That she just...
Yeah, she should be.
Who can help her out? What does that sentence mean? Zadie?
He's not gonna go easy on her.
He's not. He's saying she may think I'm going to go easy on her because I'm a man and she's a girl, but she's wrong. So is Babe Ruth going to go easy on her, Zari?
No.
No. So let's think about the question again. Why does the author include Babe Ruth's feelings about women playing baseball? Zadie?
It's a big part of the story.
Okay. What about feelings? Smith?
Maybe because she wanted us to feel the same way or the opposite way she does.
Okay. Do you think maybe she's trying to put us more in Jackie's shoes so that we can feel a little more what she's feeling, what Jackie is feeling? Because if you're playing against somebody who thinks women can't play baseball, it's going to make you either more determined to prove them wrong or more nervous or both. So it's kind of helping us to see there's a lot at stake for Jackie pitching against Babe Ruth. Because if she doesn't do well, is anyone's mind going to change? Do you think that she will help women if she doesn't do well? Or is she afraid that she won't help women if she doesn't do well? So there's a lot at stake here. Because Babe Ruth already thinks women can't do it. So if Jackie gets too nervous and messes up, his mind's not going to change. That's what the author is trying to show. There's a lot at stake. There's a lot that Jackie has to do to prove everyone wrong. Because she's got to prove Babe Ruth wrong, too. Okay, Victoria, keep going.
Jackie held that ball like it was a part of her arm. And when she threw it, she knew exactly where it would go. Right over the plate. Right where they wasn't right over the plate.
Use your fingers so that you don't accidentally read the same line twice or skip lines.
I think I did that.
Yeah.
She knew exactly where it would go. Right over the plate, right where the babe wasn't expecting it. Right where he watched it speed by and dunk into the catcher's net. Strike one.
Good. And I like how you read that, too. I was going to have somebody else read it, but at least you gave a good example if we see that again. Very good. So what just happened? What just happened? Carla?
She made it hard for
Babe?
Babe Ruth to hit the ball.
And she not only made it hard, she made him do what? Cullen?
Strike out.
Well, not strike out, because how many strikes do you have to get before?
Well, strike one.
Strike. He got a strike. That means he missed it. That means he only gets 2 more chances.
And then he.
So she just got a strike. That's bad for Babe Ruth.
Yes.
It's great for Jackie. She's already starting. She's on her way to proving people wrong because she just caused Babe Ruth to miss and get a strike. And he's legendary. He's not a legendary. He is legendary. We can say he's a legend, or we can say he's legendary. Because legendary is an adjective, so it would describe he. Legend is a noun, so we would have to say he is one. Good. Okay, and everybody, look at where it says strike one. That's written differently than everywhere else. Why do you think those words are printed differently, so big and in a different font? Michaela?
Because I want you to say it strongly.
They want you to say it strongly. Good. I'm sorry. They want you to say it loud and excited, like Victoria did, because that's how an umpire would say it.
Strike one.
Yes, correct. Just exactly the way you just said it. But yes, they want to show this is exciting. It's like how an umpire would say it, especially in a game like that. I mean, just any regular old game, an umpire would say strike one like that. But in this game, it's even more exciting. And maybe the umpire's really excited for Jackie, or maybe he's kind of mad. But sometimes when we're really excited and we speak, our emotions are so high. It's kind of hard to tell what emotion you're feeling. Because you're just so happy or so excited that nobody can really hear even what you're saying or how you're saying it. Okay, thank you, Victoria. So if we see that again, how are you going to read it? Let's all practice. Strike one. Or 2 or 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, Cullen, read next, loud and slow.
Babe Ruth graded.
Not. Go slow. There's only one D. That's one of our vocabulary words. Cover up the D. Cover up the D. There's no R, Colin. Cover up the D, and what word is that?
Grade.
Colin, is there an R? So should there be an R sound? Cover up the D. That E makes that A long. So how would you say, and then the E is silent. How would you say that?
Gape.
What did you say?
Gape.
Gape. Now uncover the D, and how would you say that?
Gabe did.
Not Gape did. Are there 2 D's? So it's just
Gabe. Gaped.
gaped. There you go. Okay, start the sentence again. Go slow. Read the words because you're adding letters that aren't there. That means you're just kind of looking at the beginning word, the beginning letter and the end letter, and just kind of guessing the middle. So make sure you're reading the whole word, okay? Because you know how to do it, but your brain is just trying to get through it faster by just guessing what's in the middle, okay?
Babe Ruth gaped He could believe it.
He could believe it?
He couldn't believe it. The crowd roared. Jackie tried to block them out to see only the ball, to feel only the ball. But Babe Ruth was faking,
Not faking.
backing,
No, cover up ing. What does that word look like? You put an E
Fake.
there. What?
fake,
Not fake. Fake is F-A-K-E. That's a soft C. If we put an E at the end, what would that word be? F-A-C-E. With soft C.
Face.
Face. So if you uncover the ing,
facing.
there you go.
But Babe Ruth was facing her down now, determined not to let a girl make a fool out of him. He flinched.
Not he.
She flinched right before the next pitch, and the apern
Cover up the P-I-R-E. And what do you have? Now cover up U-M. And how would you say that? The E makes that I long.
umpire.
So put pyre.
Umpire.
There you go.
She flinched right before the next pitch, and the umpire called a ball.
That's not a real word, that's a sound. So how would you say that sound? Look at what it says after. How does it say Babe Ruth said it? He did the babe what?
Snorted.
Snorted. So think about how a snort sounds. How does it sound if you're angry? That sound that looks like it would be spelled H-M-M-M-P-H. Who thinks they can help her out? This is called onomatopoeia. It's not an actual word, but it's putting a sound, it's spelling out a sound. It's called onomatopoeia. Kingston, how do you think you might say it? Like, Like, I'm angry. Now, is that a word, what I just did?
No.
No, but it does kind of sound like it would be spelled H-M-M-M-P-H. You hear that at the beginning, the and the at the end. Okay, so that's called an onomatopoeia. It's where we put sounds into words. Okay, Colin, go ahead, try that again.
The babe snorted. You can't do it. You can do it, Jackie told herself. Girls can throw, show them.
Keep going. You can finish the page.
But the next pitch was another ball. Now the crowd was hooting and jeering. The babe was snickering with them.
So, she made that strike and she was real excited. But now she's made 2 balls. Does everybody know the difference between a strike and a ball? A strike is when either somebody misses, they swing and they miss the ball, or they don't swing at all, but the pitch was perfect. That's when you get a strike. So the first time, even though Babe, I don't think he swung, did he? He didn't swing, but he still got a strike because the pitch was perfect. It wasn't a bad pitch. A ball is where the batter doesn't swing because the ball was not a good pitch. It wasn't like it was either too low or it was too high or it was too far that way or it was too far this way. That would be a ball. When the batter doesn't swing, but the ball wasn't thrown as well as it should have been. A strike, no matter what, if you swing, even if the pitch was the worst pitch in the world, if you swing, you're going to get a strike.
Yeah.
But if it's a bad pitch and you don't swing, you'll get a ball. If it's a good pitch and you don't swing, you'll get a strike. So, Jackie's got 1 strike on Babe Ruth, but now she's thrown 2 balls, which means her pitches weren't as good. So, she was feeling really good. Everybody was starting to get really shocked, but now they're like, oh, it was just a fluke. That one good pitch was just a fluke. It wasn't supposed to happen, but it did. When I read about how Jackie pitches, I can see how much discipline she has. I can see that she knows she's not getting upset. She's not letting it affect her pitching. She's got a lot of discipline. So that means she had a lot of encouragement. Because if you don't have a lot of encouragement, then you're not really going to have much discipline. You're not really going to think, oh, I can do this no matter what, and so I'm not going to let it get to me. So the author tells us by doing this, by showing how disciplined she is, the author is telling us how prepared and confident Jackie is, even though this is a pretty scary, tense situation. That's how we know she's disciplined, because most people who are not disciplined in this kind of situation would just fall apart. But when you're disciplined, you know, I can't react right now. I have to keep going. Okay, go ahead and turn the page. Thank you, Cullen. Read next. Me. Yes, Cullen, quickly.
Just saying, girls, softball isn't just for girls, it's also for boys.
That is true. Okay. So we're at the top of page 162. Make sure you follow along. Kingston, you don't need that pencil right now. Jackie closed her eyes. She felt her fingers tingling around the ball. She felt its heft in her palm. She felt the force of her shoulder muscles as she wound up for the pitch. She remembered what her father had told her. Go out there and pitch just like you pitch to anybody else. Strike 2! Now the babe was mad. This was serious. The babe was striking out and the pitcher was a girl. So let's think about that. Jackie had to close her eyes and she had to get herself back in the right mindset. She was trying to get herself back in the right mindset, but she wasn't quite doing it, and that's where those 2 balls came from. But now she has closed her eyes. She's probably taken a breath. She feels the ball in her hand. She feels what her hand feels like around the ball. What is she doing right now? What is she using that we used to learn, that we used to do once a week or every morning? What is she using? Smith.
Mindfulness.
Mindfulness. Even back in the 1930s, where nobody had ever heard of that, people were still using it. And what did it help her to do? What did that help her to do? Getting her mind right, closing her eyes, feeling what it feels like. What did it help her to do, Victoria?
It helped her to focus and make Babe Ruth strike.
Good. It helped her to focus, and it helped her to make her pitch so good that Babe Ruth got another strike. And now he's angry. That first strike, well, that was a fluke. That was a fluke. Nothing to get angry about. She just got lucky. Then she threw 2 balls, so it just proved him right. Well, now, here he is, striking again. He's only got one more chance.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
There are 2 balls, 2 strikes. So they're kind of even right now, because if Babe Ruth gets another strike, he's out. If Jackie throws 2 more balls, he just gets to go without anybody stopping him. If he hits the ball, he gets to go. So we're at a major crossroads. This is called the climax. This is where we know something big is about to happen. It's either going to go really well or it's going to go really bad. This is where the excitement happens. This is where we find out, why did we read this story? Why is it important? What was the author's purpose? So let's find out.
And he could hit it.
Smith, go ahead and read. Loud and slow. You are reading the most exciting part of the whole story. I want to hear that in your voice.
Jackie wasn't mad, but she wasn't scared either. she was pitching, really pitching, and it felt like something was happening the way it had always been meant to.
This is fate. This is destiny. This is what she was put on this earth to do.
She knew the batter would expect the same pitch, close and high, even if the batter was Babe Ruth. So this time, she threw the ball straight down the middle with all the speed she could put on it. Strike 3.
What did she just do? What did she just do? Ethan!
She scored it, and it made him miss.
She struck him out. Jackie Mitchell, some girl from Chattanooga, Tennessee, just struck out Babe Ruth, the greatest baseball player of all time. To this day, 2020, Babe Ruth is no longer alive and hasn't been for many, many years, but he is still recognized as one of, if not the greatest player in baseball history. And Jackie Mitchell just struck him out. Keep reading, Smith.
Babe Ruth glared at the umpire and threw the bat down in disgust. He told reporters that would be the last time he'd bat against a woman. The crowd was stunned. A girl had struck out the Sultan of Swat.
SWAT. Like SWAT
SWAT.
is when you do that. So when you, it's kind of like you're swatting something with a bat.
It couldn't be. It was a mistake, a fluke. What would the papers say tomorrow? But wait, here came Lou.
Silent H. Imagine that EH is telling us it's a short E sound. So put a short E sound there. Everything else is exactly the same.
Eric?
Gehrig. Eric.
Gehrig. But wait, here came Lou Gehrig, the Iron Horse, up to the plate. He'd show her she couldn't strike him out, too.
Ooh, okay. So is she done yet? No, she got to keep going. But first, that last paragraph, giving us another clue. The author is showing or telling us what in that last paragraph? Zadie? In general terms, so don't tell me exactly what it says, but what's our clue? What is she telling us about Jackie?
It's very exciting.
Okay, what about Jackie is she telling us though? We know that she's got this. We know this whole page told us that she is so the author shows us that not only, what is the word that means you acted with courage? What is the word that means you acted with courage? It has that base word in it. Victoria?
Confident?
Not confident. It has the base word courage, but it means you act with courage. You act in a way that shows that you have courage. Courage is the noun. It's the thing. It's the idea. But the describing word, the adjective, would be courage.
Courageful.
Not courageful. Zari?
Courageous.
Courageous. So courageous means the same thing as courageful, but courageful just doesn't work. So courageous. If you add the suffix O-U-S to the end of a noun, it means you can describe somebody as having that noun, that thing. So the noun is courage. Add O-U-S to the end of a noun that is an idea or a feeling, and it means that somebody has that thing. So they act in a way that shows that they have that. So the author is showing us that not only is, Jackie courageous, comma, she is also what? Some people can be courageous they don't really have a reason to be courageous. They just are. But Jackie's not one of those people because she also has what?
She's also very mindful.
Well, that's not quite what I'm going for. Because you can be mindful and still not have what I'm looking for. Michaela?
Encouraged.
Not encourage. That's not a thing. That's a verb. So I'm looking for a noun. She is also what? Or a way to describe her. I'm sorry. What? Courageous. C-O-U-R-A-G-E-O-S. O-U-S. Victoria? Confident. That's courageous is similar to confident, except it also adds confidence and bravery. So if you are courageous, you are both brave and confident at the same time. Confident, you may not necessarily be brave. Because you can be confident that you'll do well in your spelling test, but is that a scary thing? Is a spelling test that scary? Like, is it life-threatening?
No.
No, but courageous means you're confident and you're brave. You're doing something really scary. Spelling test isn't that scary, even if you think it is. It's not. She also, oops, I didn't mean she is also. Or, well, okay. She is also skilled. Because not only is she confident in her abilities and brave when it's a scary situation, but she can back that up with skill. She actually knows how to do it. She's just not going out there and saying, I can do it, I'll beat you, this is scary, but I don't care. And then being terrible at it, because some people are. Some people are very confident, and then they show you their skills, and you're like, why are you so confident? You're not that good. But Jackie is not like that. She is confident, courageous. She is confident and brave, which we put those words together and make courageous. And she is skilled. Where did we find that information, Zadie?
On page 162.
162. Okay, well, we still aren't quite sure what the purpose is. Is it to inform? Is it to persuade? This kind of goes either way. Because somebody being skilled is kind of an opinion. Because we may say, oh, that person's really good, but another person might say, they're not that good. I'm better than them. So that's still kind of an opinion. So let's keep reading. Smith, awesome job. Very expressive. And read next. Carla.
George Burren,
Lou Garrett. Loud and slow, Carla.
Lou Garrett swung with a mighty grunt, but his bat hit nothing but air. Strike one.
Oh, so now not only has she struck out Babe Ruth, but she's got one strike on Lou Gehrig, who's maybe the second best player to this day. Keep going.
He looked stunned, then dug his heel and Garrett
Glared. And glared.
and glared at Jack. Strike two.
She's almost there. He's only got one more chance.
Or he will be.
Let's find out. Keep going, Carla. Keep going, Carla. Oh, Carla, you're still muted.
Jackie
Grinned.
She was doing what she worked so hard and long to do, and nothing could stop her.
Keep going.
She pitched the ball in a way she knew best. A lefty pitch with a low dip in it. No one could touch the ball like that when it's thrown right. Strike 3.
So now what did she do? What did she do now? Zadie?
She struck out another player.
She struck out another player. A major player. An impressive player. Why was he stunned then? He saw Jackie strike out Babe Ruth. So why was he so shocked when he also got a strike? Michaela?
Because he didn't think she was gonna be able to do it.
He didn't think she was going to be able to do it twice. He, along with everybody else, probably thought that first time with Babe Ruth was a what? They probably thought it was a what? I'm looking for a very specific word. There's only one word that I will accept. There are other words that would be correct, but I'm looking for a specific word for a specific reason. Ethan?
A mistake.
Not a mistake. Zadie?
A fluke.
A fluke. He thought it was just a fluke. Everybody else just thought it was a fluke. They thought it was an accident. It'll never happen again. That was just a crazy cosmic accident that could not happen, but somehow did. And it'll never happen again. Well, was it a fluke? Nope, it was not. Why do you think the author didn't describe the situation with Lou Gehrig as much as she described the situation with Babe Ruth? Why do you think Lou Gehrig's turn was so much shorter in this story than Babe Ruth's? Zari?
Maybe because Lou Gehrig was one of the is the second best.
Okay, maybe. Any other answers? Victoria?
Probably because it took longer for him to strike out.
Okay, there were some balls in there. Okay. Smith, do you have another reason?
Maybe because Lou Gehrig was a little quicker
Okay.
and it just didn't take as long.
Okay. What about, so before, we were talking about how it was almost the climax of the story. She was building suspense with Babe Ruth's game. With Babe Ruth's turn, I mean. She was building suspense so that we got really excited and we knew the most exciting part of the story is coming next. Was it as important to build suspense with Lou Gehrig's turn? No, we'd already had the most exciting piece. This is exciting too, but we've already seen the climax of the story. The main reason we read the story, the main excitement in a story. So now, it's just all downhill from here. We know, okay, we're wrapping up. We're finding out what happens because of that climax. So it's really interesting and it's really exciting to read, but we're already excited. We're already in that excited mode from when she struck out Babe Ruth, so we don't need as much to get us excited now. We're already there. Okay, keep going. Read next. Thank you, Carla. Read next. Victoria. Loud and slow.
The crowd so ready to boo her before Rose with a roar, clapping, and cheering like crazy. But back to back, Jackie had struck out two of ball's best.
Of what?
Baseball's best batters, Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. She'd proven herself, and now the fans loved her for it.
Pause. So, the fans have changed their minds. The crowd has changed their minds about Jackie. At first, they were like, she can't do it. Well, after Babe Ruth struck out, had they changed their minds yet? Zadie?
No.
No, because they still thought it was a fluke. But now they changed their minds. Why do you think they changed their minds now after she struck out both Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig? Michaela?
Because they're like, oh yeah, she might be able to do something.
Good, because if you do something right one time that people don't expect, they're going to think it's a fluke. But if you do something that people don't expect a second time, then they're like, okay, maybe I need to change my expectations. The first time is like, oh, it's just an accident and it'll never happen again. But the second time is like, okay, maybe she can do it. I'll change my mind. I'll support her now. I'll change my expectations because I've seen it happen twice. That means she must be capable. Very good. Okay, Victoria, keep going.
But Jackie didn't hear them. She was too proud and too happy. She'd done what she'd always known she could do. She'd shown the world how a girl could throw as hard and as fast and as far as she wanted.
Very good. Why do you think the author or the illustrator included this little picture on page 167? Why do you think the author included that picture? Does it have anything to do with the rest of the story? Especially the story at this point? Not really. So why do you think the illustrator included it and the book publishers included it?
To show how she was like a little kid.
Okay, maybe. Victoria?
To show how she was working hard and
Do you think that this is necessarily Jackie? Zari?
No, I think it's her child.
Maybe. Or it could be just a symbol for all girls. Because if Jackie can do it, is she the only one in the world that can do it?
No.
Who else can do it? Anybody, any girl, any boy, anybody can do it with what? They can't just go out there and do it. What do they need? Smith?
Confidence.
Confidence? Just confidence? What else? Carla?
Skill.
Skill? Which you get by doing what? Sorry? You get that skill by doing what?
Practicing.
Practicing. Putting in work. So yes, you need confidence, you need skill, which you get by practicing and putting in hard work, and you need one more thing. Zadie.
Courage.
Courage and confidence are similar. So you need confidence, you need the ability to know that you can do it, you need skill, which means you need to put in the hard work and practice to get good at it, and then you need one more thing. Smith.
Ambition.
Ambition, which means you have the desire to put in that hard work and practice. If you have no ambition, you cannot have skill. You have to be willing to put in the hard work and to do what needs to be done in order to get this skill. Confidence you can have without skills, but it really helps to get skill if you are confident. But some people are confident even without skill. But those people may be confident, but it's not a good confidence. You have to make sure that you can back up your confidence with this skill, which means you need ambition. Very good. So now that we think about all of those things, and we think especially about this very last paragraph, what do we think the author's purpose was? To inform, to entertain, or to persuade? Thinking about our clues along with that last paragraph, is the author trying to teach us something? Is the author trying to just entertain us with a fun story? Or is the author trying to get us to believe something? Zadie,
Persuade.
why do you think that?
Because
What is she trying to persuade us of?
to say that anybody can do anything.
With what?
Skill, ambition, and confidence.
Good. So to persuade, the author's purpose was to persuade the reader that talent, which is skill, hard work, which is the ambition part. To do the skill, you have to have ambition to do hard work. Oops, not hard word. Hard work. Confidence. You believe that you can do it. And courage. You have the bravery to do it even when it's scary. To persuade the reader that talent, hard work, confidence, and courage can help us do anything, comma, just like Jackie Mitchell. So the author's purpose was to persuade us that we can be just like Jackie Mitchell. If we put in the hard work, if we gain the talent, have the confidence, and have the courage, we can do anything too. And she used Jackie to tell us this. But do you think she only thinks Jackie could do it? Who else does she think can do it with these 4 things? Zari?
Everyone.
Anyone. Everyone and anyone. Now, some of us may have had to start a long time ago to get to where Jackie Mitchell is in certain things. So some of us, maybe a little too late for some things, but it's not too late for everything. Yes, Zari.
She's not trying. I have 2 things to say.
Okay.
One thing is she's not trying to tell us you have no choice. You have to go play baseball.
Exactly.
She's telling us that you can do it if you put the effort into it.
Yes, exactly. She's telling a story about Jackie Mitchell and baseball. But she's trying to persuade us that this doesn't only work with Jackie Mitchell and baseball. It works with anyone and anything they want to do. Anything you want to do, you can do with hard work, confidence, courage, and talent. As long as you have all 4 of those, which sometimes means you have to start really early, but not for everything, you can do what you want to do. Now, if you want to be a famous baseball player, well, then you might have had to start a long time ago. But if you want to get a really good job in your dream field, you can start that now. Yes, Cullen.
Is Jackie Mitchell in Zari's family?
Maybe, distantly, except remember, this is fiction, so unfortunately Jackie Mitchell is not a real character.
She could.
But sometimes fiction is based on things that happen, so maybe something similar happened a long time ago, maybe not. Especially realistic and historical fiction. Those types of fiction are made up stories, but they are usually based on something that did happen, at least a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and read about the author and the illustrator because we do have time. So turn to page 168. Kingston, do you have a question about a word, or did you have a comment? Okay. You can quickly give your comment, and then Victoria can quickly give her comment because we do have a couple minutes. So, but please quickly. Is it about the story? Can it wait then? Okay. Victoria? Okay.
My cousin actually plays baseball, and he started before I even was born.
Yep. Those people that are like famous athletes, usually did start when they were very small children.
Yeah.
So, if you've been playing a sport since you were a very small child, well then maybe you can get there. But some stuff you may have had to have been doing for a while. But if you have been doing something since you were a very small child, keep working and you can get this. But there are other things that you don't have to start when you're a small child, like learning. You can pick that up now. You can get that ambition and do that hard work now, and you can become one of the most smart people on the planet. You can start now. Okay, some of you maybe have already started, but you could start now. Okay, so go ahead and read to us about the author, Kingston. Loud and slow.
Marissa Moss likes to write about real women like that who have done unusual things.
A little louder.
She also has written about a female train engineer and the first woman to fly across the English Channel. Marissa hopes that when kids read her books, they will discover things about the past that remind them of their own lives.
Do you think that last sentence, Marissa hopes that when kids read her books, they will discover things about the past that remind them of their own lives. Did Jackie's story remind you of your own life? Maybe not entirely, like you've probably never been playing baseball against baseball greats, but just her confidence and her skill and her practicing. Did it kind of remind you of maybe something you're doing now in your own life? Now, that doesn't have to be a sport. It could just be schoolwork. It could be learning new things. It could be just trying to get something done. There's something in this story for all of us to say, that kind of reminds me of me. And if there isn't, well, then maybe you need to read a little bit more closely. Okay, thank you. Kingston, read to us about the illustrator, Zadie.
CFK has stepped up to the plate to illustrate other baseball stories. CF often does caricatures, a kind of art that
Those two G's together in this word make the J sound.
degrades
Don't forget the S, and they make the J sound. Did I say G? I meant J.
You said J.
Did I? Okay. Don't forget the. So cover up everything but EX. And how would you say that?
agree
Cover up everything but EX.
X
X. Now cover up everything but AGG, and those two G's make the J sound.
age
That's a short A. Just a short A instead of a long A. You said long A, but it's short A. Adj. Cover up everything but ER. Cover up everything but the last four letters.
H
So X, Adj, Eight.
exaggerate
There you go.
a kind of art that exaggerates the way people look or act, making them seem larger than life.
Very good. I think that's it. Okay, very good. Did you guys like this story?
Yes.
I can tell that you did. But I think it's more because so many of you read with such excitement. You can read the most boring thing on the planet, but if you read it with an exciting voice, people are going to listen to you. But this is a good story. So a good story plus an excited voice make it even better than it already was. Okay, go ahead and close that. Your author's purpose map goes in the reading side of Reading and Religion. And you can put away your textbook. Remember, we're not going to have a quiz tomorrow because we are a day behind. So we'll do our third short story, and we'll do a skill, a reading skill, so a text feature. We'll work on reading a text feature. Yes, Colin, quickly.
Are we going to read a story about the St. Louis